sir, good people. Thank you. You'll find all you need in our selection. Whatever you need to be the total serene.
We can see everything from here. We can see everything from here.
Here he is, red-handed. The sellout. Shall we arrest him?
We should first find out what he puts in the box. Let him finish. The way is clear. Now, let's take a look at this box. The captain and his buyer should meet here at nightfall. This must be where the exchange will take place.
We should put this message back in its place. Nobody should know that we've read it. And we should warn the Admiral immediately. She'd want to know.
Let's go.
Desarde, what can I do for you?
We know a little more. Reuben continues to use the dead drop and has made an appointment with his buyer.
He has quite the nerve to continue using that box even though he knows you know about it.
He must have thought that we would not come back. The meeting is tonight. This could be a good time to get the proof we need. What do you think?
That's an excellent idea. I will come with you. I want to see this traitor fall with my own eyes.
Are your boots?
From this position, we'll be able to see the meeting discreetly.
Perfect. I can't wait to witness it. This traitor is going to find out exactly what it costs to make fun of us.
Men of the coin. Our greedy captain has gotten together with them.
The wretched traitor. How dare he sell us to lawless mercenaries?
May the enlightened protect me in this battle. Poison on my fire, and let's go!
May the power engulf our enemies!
Ha! This traitor got what he deserved.
Is everything all right?
It's nothing. Sorry to have charged like that. I got carried away. I couldn't bear to see this traitor sell his whole family for a few coins.
Do you want us to tend to your wound?
No, I'll go back to port and get back on my feet. Find the documents. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, the three of you.
He was ready to sell more than just his own knowledge. There are plans for machines and ships that he must have stolen from elsewhere. In addition to a substantial sum, Reuben is also going to obtain a major post on the continent. Everything is here. We'll give it to the Admiral tomorrow.
Customs Officer Alric. What can I do for you?
Desarde, I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. I've been told of some issues with customs. I would like some clarification.
I'm listening, Your Excellency.
I was told that a shipment from the continent bound for the tavern had been seized as a precautionary measure.
Yes, it's possible. We seize cargo sometimes, to verify that all taxes to the town have been paid.
Randomly, without a prior formal order.
No, I don't know. Perhaps we received a complaint. That happens sometimes.
I suppose all entries are noted in your records.
Naturally, but I assure you that we only do our job. It was all routine.
I was informed that customs was robbed.
Yes, these thieves have quite the nerve. Someone even stole personal belongings this time. Since then, I've put all important things in the chest, but I lost the key. Probably on my way here.
Let me summarize. You have confiscated some goods, perhaps because of a report, but you're not sure. Then that same cargo was stolen from you, along with other things in your custody.
Exactly, Your Excellency.
You are either the worst customs officer I've met or the biggest liar.
Listen, Your Excellency, I made a mistake. It's true, I should not have ordered this seizure. In fact, it was late and, counting the crates would have taken me hours. I decided to postpone it. In the meantime, the goods were stolen. It's unfortunate, but I'm not useless.
You haven't even informed the authorities of this robbery. This is all rather suspicious, Officer Auric. So I think it's necessary to conduct this inspection with a search.
Please, Your Excellency.
I'm sure the contents of this chest would be very informative. Maybe we should go to the docks to see if we could find the key that this scatterbrain has lost.
So, were you satisfied with your inspection, sire?
I haven't finished yet.
You'll find all you need in our selection. Whatever you need to be.
Come closer, good people. Liquor and wine from the... Closer, good people. The cure are your boots worn through?
Desarde, what can I do for you?
How are your wounds?
I recovered fast. It was nothing. Did you find the documents he intended to sell?
Yes, here they are. But there was more than just his journal.
So, he lusted after a prestigious position. And what a salary! I see that our secrets are still worth a fortune. Thank you for bringing me all this. As for you, Alba, I owe you an apology. I should have trusted you.
You have nothing to do with it. The captain did everything to make me appear guilty.
No. If we put the same trust in the volunteers as in the Seaborns, this would never have happened. We owe you a lot, Desarde. I will not forget it. Nor will I forget the lesson. Be sure of it. You have my full gratitude. Anything else?
I need to be going. Until we meet again, Admiral.
The captain who took part in these expeditions is right here on the island.
It is indeed a stroke of luck. I hope he remembers my mother.
Do not worry. If his memory fails him, he may have kept his diary from that time.
Hello there. My name is Desarde. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
I am Captain Lissandro. Pleased to meet you. I don't believe I've had the pleasure before. Yet your face seems familiar. How odd. Well, what can I do for you?
Do you know this port well?
Oh, I know it all right. I've been mooring my ship here for over 15 years. It's a safe harbor, well protected from the winds and away from the reefs.
And before that?
Before? I don't really know what you mean. Before, there was nothing but the coast itself, I imagine.
Did you know the island before all the colonists arrived?
Yes. Now that's going back a bit. And it isn't a topic for somebody who isn't one of our own.
So tell me what it was like when the Alliance first began to settle here.
It was still wild, dangerous, and very beautiful. But all that has changed now.
Did you see this city being built?
Almost before my very eyes. I saw it grow as fast as you're breathing right now. But it was barely more than a port and a couple of huts surrounded by forest in the beginning. Then the trees began to come down, and the houses began to sprout up. It happened at a crazy pace, but I'm not sure that many good things came of all that change.
Admiral Cabral advised me to speak to you about a matter of some concern to me.
The Admiral? Coming from a legate, I should have expected that. So?
You are the only one on this island that can help me.
Really? Oh, I think I understand. That's why your face looked familiar. The congregation is good at keeping its secrets, isn't it? This story is not a new one.
25 years. 25 years since the Nauts brought a woman who was captured on this island to Serene.
I remember. And yet it wasn't the first time. But on that occasion, a child was born.
So you can understand why we'd like to learn where this captive came from.
Yes, yes. I have seen more than a few Nauts looking for their parents. But what have you got to do with all this?
I met that woman in Serene. I got to know her well.
Listen, it's not that I don't want to help you, but my memory is no longer what it was. I wasn't the captain at the time. I wasn't the one who decided where we moored the ship. So I don't see how I can help you find out where this woman came from.
Do you need a little gold to jog your memory?
You're quite the merchant, aren't you? But since you're asking so nicely, I do actually need a new sail.
Here's your gold, Captain.
Perfect. My old boat thanks you. Very well. I need to look in my old logbooks. I'm sure I'll find something. Wait for me here. I'll be an hour at the most. Here it is. I found my old logbook. There's a passage in it that would probably interest you. Your mother came from a village on the plains in the southeast of the island. I'm talking about a place where the bones of the whale are visible from the coast. I believe the natives call it Vignamri.
Thank you for this information, Captain.
It's nothing. I'm getting sentimental in my old age. Good luck to you.
So here you are on the verge of discovering your mother's village, of finding your own people. How do you feel?
I don't really know. I'm a little lost, I suppose. All of this is so new to me.
I understand. Mrs. de Sade was loving. She raised you with tenderness. And today you learn she is not your real mother. I'm sorry.
To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
I recently found out that my mother came from your village.
Your mother was from Vignamri? Now I understand why your face seems so familiar to me.
Indeed. She was captured before my birth and sent to the continent.
She was called Arelwyn. Did you know her?
Of course. Everyone here remembers her kidnapping.
Could you tell me more about that?
I was not the head of the clan back then. It was a very long time ago, but I remember the village Denegad. Kidnapped by the people of the sea. All our warriors set off to her rescue. But it was all in vain. Most of them died, including the one she loved. It was a dark day, in which our village lost its knowledge and strength in one blow.
So my father died too. Do you know if any members of my family are still alive?
Yes. Slan, your mother's sister. She then became our Donegad. She was never able to match her sister's talent. Too much knowledge had been lost. Arelwyn was a renowned healer across all of Teofradi. Taking her place was not an easy task.
It's not surprising that she was of interest to the congregation. They probably hoped she could help them find a cure for the Malachor. But all alone, far from the island. She was just a young, frightened woman who had lost all her powers.
Do you know where I can find my aunt?
You could try her house, but she's rarely there. She is an elderly woman now, and very much enjoys her own company. She doesn't speak much to me, but others here can probably tell you where to find her.
Thank you, Ulan.
Anything else?
Nothing. I must go.
What do you think of the chief of your village?
He seems quite friendly compared to the others we've run into.
A bit too friendly, if you ask me. A little too concerned with pleasing the settlers.
And you think that's a bad thing?
He reminds me of myself when I was younger. And that's not a compliment. My fear is that he serves his own ambition. And this is often done at the expense of others. There's no one here. Let's go and ask the inhabitants of the village if they know where to find her.
The islanders protect their Donegada. I don't know if they'll speak to some Renaigse.
Don't forget, you are one of them after all.
Hello.
Renaigse. Do you need help, Renaigse?
Actually, yes. I'm looking for the village Donegad.
Oh. And what do you want from her?
Ulan told me that she could help me to find someone.
Ulan must have wanted to play a dirty trick on you. There's no love lost between Ulan and the Donegad. She says that he loves the people from your island too much. But Ulan saved our village. Anyway, if you want to find her, try heading towards the western plains. I am not sure if she is there right now, but she likes going for walks there.
I'm extremely grateful.
the enlightened protect me in this battle. May the shadow engulf our enemies. Take a potion. May the shadow engulf our enemies. May the enlightened protect me in this battle. Engulf our enemies. The logic is running out. Take a potion.
There's a woman over there, surrounded by animals. It looks like she may be in danger.
Let's go and help.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle.
How do you feel, madam?
Well, thank you for stepping in. I don't understand what has happened. Usually these animals accept me. Something must have frightened them.
We are glad we arrived at the right time. We would have been very upset if something had happened to you.
Excuse me, but are you Slan, the Denegad of Vignamri?
Yes, that's me. Were you looking for me?
Yes, we were. If you would allow us, we'd like to accompany you and tell our story along the way.
Very well. I will walk by your side.
This is the story we have pieced together.
I just can't believe it. Yet, if I think about it, your face reminds me of hers.
My mother, or rather, the woman who raised me, gave me this necklace.
A Relwyn gave it to me, to give to her child, and I passed it on to Mrs. de Sade.
It looks familiar. Your father had given it to your mother when they bound. It's good that you are wearing it today. My poor beloved Relwyn, who died far away from us all, and divorced Tirce. I still miss her so much.
She wanted me to help her die. But I was unable to do such a thing. Someone would have figured it out. I would have been sent back to Ptolemy, and I would have lost everything. So I watched her suffer. And one day she died.
Petrus, I cannot hold it against you for letting her live.
No, you don't understand. I loved her. I loved her, and I didn't even have the strength to end her suffering. She's the only woman I've ever loved.
I never would have guessed.
Everyone loved her, Elwyn. She was marvelous. You cannot blame yourself, man of the light. What's more, you brought me her child. For that alone, she would forgive you if she were among us. All is well now. The child of Tia Fradi has returned home, and with him, the spirit of his mother. You are home, my Magum. Welcome.
Petrus, I wanted to thank you.
Thank me? Despite everything you know about me?
You may have been a bit cowardly in the past, to the point of letting the woman you loved suffer. You were manipulative, and you lied to everyone, including yourself. But thanks to what you've told me, I've been able to find my family and my origins. And for that, I thank you.
My child. What you're saying touches me more than you can imagine. At least I've done something good, for once in my deceitful life. For you, and for her. I hope the Enlightened will remember this when I stand before him.
Greetings, Katasak.
Vertirtumat, what can I do for you?
How is my cousin doing?
He's filled with dread as death approaches. Forgive him his mood swings. He's such a young boy, and he had so much desire to live. Thanks to my treatment, he suffers less. But his disease is getting worse, and I don't know what to do. It would take a power far superior to mine to break the grasp of this evil.
Now that you've seen my cousin, what are your thoughts on the Malachor?
It is a terrible disease. I have never seen one like it. It slowly gnaws through the people it afflicts. Their eyes and legs gradually die because of the black blood, and the pain it induces is atrocious. My potions are barely enough to calm your cousin. But if you're asking if I know how to cure it, I have no idea. It's a disease coming from a world that isn't ours, and which I'm not familiar with.
Do you like it in New Serene?
No. Your village has smothered the earth. The smell of the woods has gone, and the singing of the birds is filled with anguish. I can barely feel my bond here. But don't worry. I will not leave before doing everything in my power to save your cousin.
I'm looking to meet Enormil Frichterman. I went all the way to the village council.
But they did not let you speak to Glendan the Elder.
Precisely. They said that only the friends of a member of the council might enter.
And my word was not enough. It seems that I must be a Mal to be heard.
Do not be sad, daughter of Bloodnid. One day you will be as great a chief as your mother. And you too will have a seal. This seal will allow you to give voice to the friends of your clan. Those who may speak in your name. Here, friend of Wenxavier. Take my seal and go and meet Glendan. But you must convince him and no doubt pass many trials. Many monsters and traps are hidden on the path you seek to follow.
Thank you, Katasak. Why are you helping me?
I do not wish to lose the one who placed his life in my hands. And you have already shown me your friendship.
I hope that Glendan will allow you to meet this god, cousin. Leave as soon as you can. Godspeed.
Have no fear. I'll do whatever it takes. I must go.
Qua awalam seg.
My dear cousin, come closer and tell me what brings you.
Constantine. Is it true? Are you in great pain?
This sickness is horrible, believe me. Now I understand what your mother went through. But you have not come to hear my complaints. Speak. It will give me something else to ponder.
I'm going to leave now. Goodbye, Constantine.
Look out for yourself.
you have returned. The rule is still the same, you know.
Here is the seal of the Denegad Katasach, of the village of Wenchavier.
And so you are a trusted friend of the great healer. He must see your true face and find it worthy. Enter. You are welcome.
I give you warm greetings, Glendan. I am Disarday, legate of the Congregation of Merchants.
Your merchant congregation sways me very slightly from my path. But you are a current of Katasach. His trust in you makes me stop and look at you. What brings you here?
I seek a remedy. My cousin, as well as many other people on our island, suffer from a terrible sickness. We think that only Enon Miel Frichteman can help us find a cure.
Really? And Katasach sent you to see me?
He told me that the only way to meet with your god was to come and see you. You would judge our worthiness.
Judge your intentions? Yes, that I can do. But even if I should do this, you would have many trials to pass. For the path you seek to follow has only been tread but a very few times, and you are the first Renaigse to set foot upon it. We must begin where everything begins. There is a trial. The trial of water. It will show us the reflection of your soul.
What must I do?
You must go to a cavern and tell me what you see on the seal you will find deep in its center.
And this cavern is guarded, I suppose?
That is true. But the simplest solution is not always the best. It is a path with many forks. I hope you will prove that you understand the spirit of our people and our island. Go now. Show us your true face, and return purified by the waters of the cavern.
What can you tell me about the sanctuary?
It is the most sacred place of the island. The hidden face, and still seen by all of you. Enol Mil Frichteman. I protected these doors like my father before me and his father before him. And still none of us have ever entered.
Am I to gather that there has never been a High King in your family?
We are heads of the Council of Kings. And so it is prohibited for us to present ourselves. We must remain impartial.
I see. And so you cannot speak to me about what you find inside?
The heart of the island beats near here, the volcano. And I know that it is a place full of life.
Can you tell me anything more about the role of the Council?
We gather here at every long night, and every short night. During these nights, the clans are in disagreement and come here looking for wisdom of the Council, and of course also the High King. Those who have complaints against their Mal may also be heard here, and find justice. And when important events take place, if the balance is threatened, then we also meet here, so that the wisdom of all might be shared, and that we might act as a same people.
What can you tell me about your god?
That the word God is too small to hold him. He is Tir Fradi in all and everything. The wisdom of his people, the gentleness of his rivers, the strength of his volcano. You are looking for wisdom to heal the Renaigse, but you still see it with the eyes of a sort of Donegat. He is much more than that. He is the essence of all life, of all magic, the spring.
I must leave. Goodbye.
Qua awelem seg.
You have spoken to Glendon as you wanted. What more can I do for you?
I was asked to pass the trial of water. What do you know about it?
I have never passed it. Only those who must reveal their soul walk this path. The High Kings and Queens. It is a tremendous honor given to you, Renaigse.
Do you have any advice to give me?
I only know that the trial can be passed in many ways, and your choice will reveal the makings of your soul. One way is through strength, the other by ruse and heart. But I know no more than this. The trials are kept secret. Anything else?
Nothing else, thank you. I need to leave.
Good luck. And do not lose yourself in your own reflection.
Siora, do you know anything about the trial that awaits us inside?
My mother passed it during the last election, but it was Vinbar that was elected in the end.
Did she tell you about it?
A little, but it is a secret trial. It is important that you give your whole heart to it. I know that you must choose your path in your way. Combat is not necessarily the best response, even if it allows you to get to where you are going. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed. And there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Look, they're eating the old carcass. If you poured some sleeping potion on it, they'd fall asleep. Karans, I need to talk to you. I have to ask you for another favor.
I'm listening, Siora.
Do you remember the mine shakers in my village?
Yes. If I understand correctly, there was some kind of an agreement made with them.
Even though these priests would make good allies against the Lions because they hate them as much as we do, my mother would never have traded the spirits of the people of the village in exchange for their help. And she would have wanted to be buried according to our rituals. She was deeply attached to our traditions.
So you think that they're lying?
Yes. And you understand these Renagse better than I do. Will you investigate this matter with me?
Of course. Let's go.
My child, what can we do for you?
We would like to know more about the agreement you supposedly sealed with Bladnid.
I do not see how our agreement concerns the congregation. But since you are asking us, we swore to provide this village with all our support in their fight against the Alliance.
In exchange, its inhabitants will have to renounce their pagan cult and turn towards the light.
My mother would never have made such an agreement. She's the one who encouraged me to become a Donegad.
The Queen had understood that the light was the only true path, even if she was attached to traditions. It is for this reason that we have accepted to seal our agreement according to your own rituals.
She had an engraver come to Falristal. He carved your strange symbols in the stone.
I do not believe a single word of this. You, the people of the light, are nothing but liars.
You would do well to hold your tongue, young lady. This village is now under our spiritual authority.
By not respecting us, you are committing blasphemy. And blasphemy is a crime that we punish severely.
Because you think that you can administer justice here. I am the daughter of Bladnid, and you are...
Siora, let's not get into another battle and make new enemies. Let's go find this stone.
That is an excellent idea. Then you will see that we are telling the truth.
All these bloodlords, they aren't worth tuppence.
Here's the stone we were looking for. It is destroyed. We can no longer decipher the symbols. Strange, isn't it?
This stone was damaged on purpose. We will never know the precise terms of the agreement.
There may be a way. Promises in stone are a very ancient tradition. Those who want to make these agreements must turn to a keeper of promises. An artisan who makes the stones speak. There are but a few. We did not have one in our village before Karadek's arrival. He must be the one who engraved this stone.
I thought you could not write.
The Donegada have a secret writing that the keepers of promises always learn. Those who want to seal a promise tell them to write, and they take care of it. Strange. It looks like no one's there, but the door's left open.
Empty. Everything is broken and turned upside down. Empty. Everything is broken and turned upside down. Empty. A sculpted engraved stone. What happened here?
It seems like there was a fight. Everything is scattered around.
It's as if someone wanted to meticulously destroy everything in this workshop.
The owner must have left in a hurry, taking a few things and destroying the rest.
Unless someone else did this. We must find Karadeg.
Do you know where he might be?
This engraved stone bears the mark of Baraeg Nodas, Donkas's clan. Do you remember him? Karadeg originally belonged to this clan. He may have returned.
Let's go to Vigigador, and we'll find out.
What brings you here on Almanawi?
We're looking for Karadeg, the Keeper of Promises.
Did he come back to your village?
He did come, and then he left. We could not take him back.
Did you exile him? Why?
He is the one who left. He disagreed with our stance on the Renaise. He thought that we should be fighting them, throwing them back to the sea. This is why he joined the Gaesrad. And I did not want him to return if it meant that he would bring his hatred with him.
Do you know where he might have gone?
He feared someone or something, and he wanted to hide. He must have left for the woods, south of here. He knows the area well. Is there anything else?
I must leave. Goodbye, Dunkus.
Qua awalum seg. What brings you here?
Did you receive any news from Karadeg?
No. He must still be hiding in the woods. Is there anything?
I must leave. Goodbye.
Qua awalums.
It is Karadeg. He's over there.
Signora, Bertir Tumad Donegad. What are you doing with these strangers?
These strangers are my friends, Karadeg. You can speak in front of them without fear.
What do you want?
Tell me about your role as Keeper of Promises. What does it consist of?
Most words must be free, and able to fly like birdsong. But some words must survive those who utter them. So they call on the Keepers of Promises. Those who want to become one must win the trust of the Donegada and prove their wisdom. Then they teach us the words of stone. And when someone wants to seal a promise, we offer them those words.
So you're a kind of cleric? Thank you, Karadeg.
Do you want to know anything else?
We would like to ask you about a stone you supposedly engraved.
It is the stone of the Renaigse, isn't it? I should never have accepted to seal such a promise. I did not like them, but I could not refuse to fulfill my duty. Not when Bladnid was demanding it. And now that she is no longer with us, these Monasinaiga are chasing me.
It is because you are the last person to know what was engraved on it. The stone has been destroyed.
I kept the piece of tree bark in which I prepared the glyphs. All the details are there.
With this tree bark, we could verify what my mother promised. Can you give it to us?
No, Donegad. I do not mean to disrespect you, but I will not. The Renaigse only bring us trouble, and you come with them. They will disappoint you just like they disappointed your mother. I do not want to deal with them ever again. They threaten my life, and because of them, I am forced to hide here.
I understand your fear. Take some time to think. We'll come back later to see you. I need a bit of practice.
What brings you here on Almanawi?
We found Karadeg. You were right. He was hiding in the woods.
I know him well. Like I know everyone in my clan.
His life is in danger. Some priests from Teleme are searching for him and they won't leave him in peace.
So they are the ones he fears.
Dunkas, you cannot let him fall into these priests' hands. He is one of us.
I know, but my role as a chief is to preserve the peace in this village. Being chased by the Renaigse probably only stirred up his anger. I do not wish to take the risk of him bringing it here.
Dunkas, could you not accept him in your clan again? In the name of our friendship?
You are a Karants, and your friendship is precious to us. For you, I agree to make this effort. I only hope that Karadeg will contain his hate and open himself to our point of view. The help you are giving him might show him that the Renaigse are not all the same. Is there anything else?
I must leave. Goodbye, Dunkas.
Qua awalum seg.
Renaigse, you have returned.
We would like to talk once more about the glyphs on this stone.
I told you that I did not want to hear about this promise any longer.
You wanted to go back to your original clan, didn't you? You were hoping that Dunkas would welcome you. He is prepared to do so. He simply hopes that you will put aside the anger that is inside you.
When I left, I thought Dunkas was too soft, too nice with the Renaigse. I was hoping to fight them with Bladnid. But in the end, she also chose to negotiate with them. So, I might as well go back home. Thank you for convincing him to take me back. Here, take this piece of tree bark. I hope that it will help you to chase these Renaigse away, Donegad. And I did not think I would say this one day. But thank you, Renaigse.
What do these glyphs say?
That we will assist the priests in their war against the Lions, and they must help us in return. There is nothing about the spirits of the people of the village, or renouncing our traditions. I knew they were lying. Let's show this to Iseult. Shiora, Asir, always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
Azeld, about this pact your mother supposedly made with the priests.
Yes. Did you find anything new?
We went to Falristel to see the stone.
Were you able to read it, Siora? No, because it was destroyed by someone. I am certain that the priests did it to protect their lies. You're probably right, but for as long as we cannot prove it...
We retrieved the piece of tree bark that Karadeg used as a model.
Siora, what's written on it? Mother promised to help them against the lions, and they promised to help us in return. There's nothing mentioned about them settling here. And even less about them being entitled to the spirits of the people of our village. So they lied. They mocked us, and insulted the memory of our mother. I think it's high time they left. Don't you agree? I think so too. Come on, let's go. You lied to us. You took us for gullible children. Leave this village at once. You will never be welcome here again.
But if you want our help with the Alliance, your people must convert to the light.
By lying, you have insulted the memory of the Queen. The entire village will be happy to make you pay for your affront if they hear about it. You do well to leave before having to face their wrath.
We are not here to shed blood.
Very well, we're leaving. But we will not forget your role in this matter, Your Excellency.
I did not think they would leave of their own accord. Thank you, Onol Manawi. Thanks to you, we managed to chase away these lawyers. And we will be able to perform our rituals and give our mother back to the earth. Yes. Thank you. Our village is in your debt. Siora, I will need you for the ritual. Will you help me? Of course, Asir.
Glad to see you, my friend. Can I do anything for you?
I must leave you.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
I must leave you.
Karantz, could you help me once more?
What is it?
I must prepare the ritual for our mother's funeral, and I think that I will need your help.
But your sister will be there. Surely you'd rather be together.
For the ritual, yes, it will only be the two of us. But before that, your support would be a great help. Will you come with me?
Alas, I have other urgent tasks I must take care of before I can accompany you.
I understand, but do not take too long. Anything else?
How did you know that those missionaries were lying? After all, given the situation, your mother could have wanted to form an alliance.
I knew my mother well. We were close. She would never have renounced her beliefs to forge an alliance.
I understand. However, couldn't she have renounced it in the hope of protecting her daughters?
Perhaps. But she knew us just as well as we knew her. And she knew that we'd rather die in battle than renounce our beliefs. Anything else?
I must pass the trial of water. Do you know anything about it?
I have heard it talked about. It is a trial that all must pass if they wish to become the High King. One says that the trial reveals the true personality of those who pass it. My mother passed it during the last election, but it was Vinbar that was elected in the end.
Did she tell?
I know. Combat. If you are and there. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Look, they're eating the old carcass. If you poured some sleeping potion on it, they'd fall asleep. You did it. They're sleeping. We should be able to pass without a fight.
I need a bit of practice.
May the enlightened help us.
You were freezing and you had this empty stare. The water in the basin spoke to you, no?
Yes. Exactly like the lightning-struck tree. I was something else for a brief moment.
Tell us. Visions like this are guides, keys for the sacred rituals.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind. And it was a cold feeling. I was high up, and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then the sun warmed me. Suddenly I bounced on the ground. And I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated. And I was suddenly with you again.
Once again, these visions open gates. Try to remember them.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind. And it was a cold feeling. I was high up, and it was getting colder and colder. I felt... This stone bears the image of a storm. Or perhaps the wind. On this stone, the sun is visible. The drawing on this stone makes me think of fire. I'm certain. This drawing looks like an infant. Could it represent life? This stone is adorned with the etching of a drop of water. This stone is blackened, eaten away. I think it's supposed to evoke death.
Once again, these visions open gates. Try to remember them.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind. And it was a cold feeling. I was high up, and it was... Here this looks like a snowflake.
Once again, these visions open gates. Try to remember them.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind. And it was a cold feeling. I was high up, and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then the sun warmed me. Suddenly I bounced on the ground. And I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated. And I was on this stone, the sun... This must be the seal that Glendan spoke about. It looks like the silhouette of the mountain of Tirfredi, and a face is drawn within it.
The spirit of the volcano. One of the faces of Einon Míl-Frichtemann.
Bertir to Mad on Olmanawi. I congratulate you for passing the trial. Enter.
And so you have returned. Can you tell me what the seal deep within the cavern brings into your mind?
A face in the mountain of Tirfredi.
Then you have seen the true face of the island when looking into her waters. And the island has seen inside you. You sent the beasts into a deep sleep. That was very clever. Another before you did the same. In choosing the path of silence, you avoided confronting the Dosantats. Finally, you have completed the ritual. And in so doing, the Guardian recognized you as a wise man. You choose to trust the way of ruse and wisdom. It is a difficult path, but it carries generous fruits. The island has seen your intelligence and also your compassion. The friendship of Katasach towards you no longer surprises me.
Am I authorized to encounter Einon Míl-Frichtemann now? To present him with my request?
If the High King agrees, yes. We shall not oppose that decision. Only a High King or High Queen is allowed to open the sanctuary. I warned you. Your voyage is far from over.
I suppose that I'm going to need to convince them as well. Where can I find them?
I do not know. And I believe that it may be another trial on your path to find the one you seek.
Is he hiding? Has he been captured?
He disappeared several months ago. Since then, we have not heard from him. He was worried about the Renaigse. The last people to have seen him, I'm told, were the most important chiefs of the clans here at the council. There was Deirdre, Blatnid, Ulan, and Dunkas.
My mother, alas, can tell us nothing more.
Yes. I heard about your loss, Yora. And divorced Tirse. Mourning is a difficult time to pass.
And divorced Tirse. Thank you, Glendan.
Deirdre is the Mal of the clan of the Storm Warriors. You will find her in the village of Vedlug.
I've already met her. She sent me to confront a Guardian.
That sounds like her. Ulan is the Mal of the village of Vignamri, near the coast. It is said that he welcomes the Renaigse. As for Dunkas, he leads the Vigigidor. He is the chief of the Earth Healers. His village is not very far from the Didekid and Nadages.
Very well. I will go and see them. Try to find this High King. Thank you, Glendan.
Kwa awalamsek. I hope that you will find him.
Karans, I must return to my... But fear, will you come with me?
Of course. I'd be happy to be by your side. Let's go.
My dear.
I'll see you later, Father.
Take care.
Siora, Asir, always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
I'm only here to accompany Siora.
I came to give our mother back to the earth, Iseld. It is high time we did, I know. Performing the ritual might help me feel less empty. Iseld, I miss her too. Did you go to Vasrigan? No. Preparing the place is the role of the Donegada. I was afraid I would not do things properly.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
We are approaching Vathrigan. This is where I will perform the ritual. This burial mound has been the final resting place of our queens for generations. It must be prepared before we can start the ritual.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Something's wrong. Normally, you would hear the birds singing in this place.
What do you mean?
And yet everything seems normal to me.
There. Tenants. This is not their natural habitat at all. We cannot leave them here, so close to the burial mound.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
I do not understand what they are doing in this area. You never see any around here. They must have nested in the shadow of the burial mound.
In that case, we have no choice but to destroy their nests. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming back.
You are right. We cannot let these carnivores roam so close to my mother's remains. Will no longer trouble the peace of our queen. All we have to do now is to take care of the ceremony.
Is there anything else to prepare?
Of course. We will need some sensors crafted especially for the ritual.
Where can we find them?
It would be ideal if we could craft them ourselves, but otherwise the village artisan probably sells them. And I will also need some mortuary lotion. I will have to coat my mother's body with it before giving her back to the earth. I will give you a list of all the ingredients because we will have to prepare it ourselves. The merchants won't sell it. Once we have gathered these last items, then Isolde and I will be able to perform the ritual. I thank you for being by my side and helping me the way you are. It means a lot to me.
Don't mention it, Siora.
We have all that we need. Let's go back to the burial mound to put everything in place. Here we are. It is on this stone altar that we will place the body of my mother. We must place a censer where her head will be, and another near her feet. And then you will have done everything you could to help me. And I am infinitely grateful for it. Your presence by my side means a lot to me. But only my sister and I can participate in the ceremony. This is how our ritual of the dead is performed. Do you understand? There. Everything is in place. Thanks again, Honor Manawi. My sister should be joining me soon. You should wait outside. Oh, these rituals are demanding. But they help us to say goodbye to those we love. You have been a true friend. A Karans, accepting to help me the way you did. Thank you. I will never forget the kindness you displayed. Conforming to our customs and staying by my side.
It's only natural, Siora. I know what it feels like to lose someone who is dear to you.
We should go now. It is time to return to the living.
Lieutenant, I demand an explanation. Tell us what is going on. We haven't heard anything about Lord D'Orsay's condition in spite of our inquiries. We are extremely worried. And then, all of a sudden, one of his guards appears, shaken and on his own, though he is part of his retinue.
Please, allow me the chance to shed some light, my lady.
Your soldier is nothing more than a coward for abandoning his highness.
Tell me, what is going on?
This soldier has just reported in. He is asking for reinforcements. He believes that Lord D'Orsay has been attacked.
He believes? He ran here without full knowledge of what happened firsthand.
I was sent on patrol far from the camp, but I heard screams, from men and from beasts. I wanted to return to camp, but then I heard a deafening sound, grinding, like a landslide. I thought then it would be best just to go and get help.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You are dismissed. I would like to have a discussion with this man alone.
Yes, sir.
My lady, could you lead these fine people into the hallway, if you would be so kind?
Certainly. I deplore this embarrassing turn of events. But know that you have my full support in all circumstances.
In the interest of avoiding a general panic, tell me precisely what happened back there.
Your cousin ordered us to escort him beyond the town limits. The Islander convinced him to go on some journey.
By Islander, do you mean the Denegad that came to treat his affliction?
Yes. A strange bird. Missing more than one feather, you ask me, sir. I was ordered to set up patrol along a small path, rather far from the rest of the company. I was told to protect our perimeter from anyone wandering along. According to the Islander, it was the only access to their planned destination. I did my rounds for quite some time. Not a soul came along. But then I heard cries a ways off, and I went running to help. I heard an enormous crashing sound like an avalanche of rocks. So then I turned right back around.
And you ran all the way here? Do you know precisely where the company was when you heard these sounds?
No, not precisely. I hadn't gone there. But I could show you where I was posted. The Islander said they were following the path, but he was quite a ways ahead when I lost sight of them.
Why didn't you go and look for yourself? To see if they had been buried by a rock slide?
What? Alone? What could I have done? It seemed of greater urgency to go and get help.
I'm still having trouble deciding if cowardice or intelligence got the best of you. But that's a question for your superiors. My cousin was quite weak. Do you know why he decided to follow the Denegad?
His Highness was feeling much better. The potions that he was drinking must have been potent. I mean to show no disrespect to His Highness, but that Islander had the high ground in the War of Wits. I wasn't privy to their counsel. I haven't the beginning of an explanation for the expedition, but your cousin was all full of enthusiasm and ordered that we set out as quick as we could make ready.
That sounds like him. What sort of mess has he gotten himself into? Again?
I am sorry, sir, but I don't know anything else I could tell you.
Dismissed, soldier. Looks like I'm going on an expedition.
Thank you, sir.
Lightning protect me in this battle!
This is the camp that Constantine's escort must have established.
It looks more like a battlefield. I hope the Donegad and your cousin survived the fight.
Search the zone. Let's see if we can find any clues as to what's happened here. The tents were lacerated by what looks like claws. And there are traces of blood everywhere. Some of these men must have been attacked in their sleep. By beasts? Most of the weapons are missing. Our soldiers wouldn't have taken a rest without defenses. Our soldiers were attacked by surprise, and there were animals among the assailants. However, our men reacted properly. They were armed and they fled as best they could. There are no bodies, and no sign of Constantine or Catasac's presence here. Perhaps they were in another place, and the soldiers wanted to join them. We need to follow the tracks. This area has been trampled. An entire stampede passed by here. Our soldiers must have fled the zone and taken this path followed by their assailants. This is a sacred place of a native cult. No doubt this is where Catasac and Constantine were going.
It isn't really a place of a cult, but rather a place of anchoring. A place where Donegada perform a ritual to become Sinol Menawi. These places are charged with great energy. Perhaps Catasac wanted to use it to bring relief to your cousin.
Perhaps. There are bodies, and without a doubt there was fighting here. Search the place. Let's see what we are able to find. This blade is a native ritual knife, and this bowl contained a potion. Someone wanted to perform a ritual here. Could Catasac have found a better means to alleviate Constantine's symptoms? A crater, without a doubt caused by an explosive potion. The soldiers might have been carrying them. They must have been desperate to have taken such drastic measures. The corpses of both men and beasts. These soldiers fought dearly until the end. Neither Constantine nor Catasac are among them. Constantine and Catasac must have been visiting this place. Perhaps performing some sort of healing ritual. When the attack took place, the soldiers intervened, and many fell during the fight. But a group was able to escape down this path. We need to continue following their tracks. More tracks. Footprints. They must have fled this way. Strange. These trees look half calcinated, as if they were exposed to immense heat. These weapons are in terrible condition. Whatever did these men come up against? Another burnt tree. This path seems to have been scorched in flames. I can't believe that our soldiers could be carrying so many explosive potions. These poor soldiers were torn to pieces. Animals again, or something else. New footprints. It looks as if a group met up with them and took this path. There was more fighting over here. There are not only the corpses of our own men, but where could these other soldiers have come from? Footprints. Only a handful made it up to here. The path stops on this overhang, and despite signs of a skirmish, I can't see any sign of Constantine or Katasach.
Maybe enlightened protect me in this.
I don't recognize these men. Still more unknown soldiers. Could they have been responsible for the attack? This one is carrying a letter. Let's see. According to this note, this troop came from an outpost of the Bridge Alliance close by. A patrol, no doubt. Could the bridge in some way be linked to this attack? That makes no sense. I recognize this sack. It's my cousin's. Oh, Constantine, what have you gotten yourself into again? These vials look familiar. Katasach used the very same to stock his potions. He must have come here. I'm going to pick them up. And these rocks were broken, as if they had taken cannon fire. What could have happened here? Very well. Let's sum things up. Constantine and Katasach definitely came through here to perform some sort of ritual, but they were attacked. An attack obviously involving wild animals. And then there are these traces of inexplicable flames. Could it be magic?
You cannot suspect my people are behind this attack. You have strayed far from the path. No one would have attacked Katasach.
Unless he himself was behind it. He is a powerful Donegad. The beasts obey him.
How could you even think something like that? He is a healer. He brought comfort to your cousin.
Perhaps he only did it to gain our trust. With Constantine captive, he now has leverage to apply to the colonists and force them to accept his conditions. But in all truth, I have no idea what to think. But regardless of who is guilty, I must find my cousin. We could return to Wenxavier to learn more. Perhaps Katasach returned there. Or maybe his Voglundai could tell us where to find him. We are also going to have to visit the outpost. Their soldiers were involved in the combat, or at least the end of it. They must have some stories for us.
That trail seems a better one to follow. Katasach is a good man, but the soldiers and the lions have already betrayed you.
That's true. But I do not see how they could have made these animals obey them. However, one way or another, Constantine is in danger. Let us be on our way without further delay.